In Red Dead Online, we have several different roles. One of these is the trader role, which is a good and lucrative business. However, there is some guidelines you should follow when and even before getting into the trader. Therefore, I've made the ultimate trader guide for beginners. But before we get into the video, I just want to talk a bit about my personal channel, where I make similar videos to this, just on GTA Online instead of Red Dead Online. So if you need guides, tutorials, tips and trick videos on GTA Online, then I suggest subscribing to my personal channel, Jones McFlurry. And also, while you're over here on this channel, go downstairs and click that subscribe button to never miss another upload. If you do all this, you're a living legend. Anyway, getting back into the video. The first thing you will need to access Trader Role is to get a letter from Crips. This letter you will just get on your local post office. Just go there or your camp and collect the letter. Read this letter, and after this he will spawn or have a yellow circle on your local general store. Keep in mind, there's no need to go here and talk to him if you don't have 15 gold bars yet, because the trader role does cost 15 gold bars. So if you go here, you will just need to go again later when you have 15 gold bars. So just grind up to 15 gold bars before you go and meet him. When you eventually go and meet him at a local general store, he will tell you a bit about the trader business, what he wants to do, and then finally if you're interested. If you do not have the 15 gold bars, you will not get this prompt of do you want to buy the trader. You will only go further into the cutscene and then the cutscene will end. But if you do have 15 gold bars, he will ask you to buy it. And of course, since you're here on this video, you do want to buy it. So buy the trader role. Now that you have bought the trader role, go ahead and go to your camp. And when you get to your camp, there will now be a new table or place where Crips will stand. This is now your trader table, butcher table, whatever you want to call it. This is now where you will interact with the trader business. You'll see when you go and interact with this trader table or Crips with this trader table that there will be 3 different bars, or actually 2 different bars in the top left corner. The first one is materials and the second one is production. Basically, these two are in some way the same, because they're both supplies to making goods, but they are different. Materials, that is the top bar, is animals. So that's carcasses, skinned animals, birds, like anything like that. That is materials. You need to find animals and deliver them. I have a good way to do this, very effective, later in the video, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, remember, he does not accept meat. You do not try to donate meat to him. Instead, if you're catching normal animals like deer, do not skin them. Just put them on your horse or put them on the hunting wagon, which I will talk about later, and then go to Crips and deliver them like fully as a carcass. Do not skin them because they will be worth much less. While we're at it, let's talk about the second bar, which is production. This is then also supplies. If you've played GTA Online, this is a bit similar to what we have in the MC businesses, where you can either steal supplies or you can buy supplies. If you choose to buy supplies, you can buy them for $20 and it takes around 10 minutes for them to arrive at your camp. But in my opinion, it is best to do a mission to resupply the trader, and that is because you get so much XP for each supply mission. I believe you get over 300 or over 500 XP for each supply mission you do. So these are definitely worth doing, at least in the beginning. Later, you can choose if you want to do them or not. I know many people that just buy the supplies and then go on with the day, but this you can choose yourself when you've come this far. In the beginning, I at least recommend you to resupply the trader because of the XP you get. And also you do save some money each time, so try and do this. And actually, a fun fact about this is that when you're doing these supply missions, your honor level actually matters. Because if you do have low honor, you most likely, or most of the time, you will get steal missions, like steal this wagon from these people, or steal these bags, which is pretty good missions and pretty easy missions. However, if you have high honor, you will most likely get missions like get this animal for me and then I'll give you the supplies. Do this, find this animal. And these missions can be really hard if you get like a animal that's basically nowhere, like a turkey or something really specific like a frog, anything like that. It could take a long time for you to find it. So if you're planning to do these missions a lot, I maybe suggest to try and keep your honor low, but this again is really hard because just of the natural play of the game. Most of the time you have high honor, but do with this as you please. Just know that honor plays a role. Okay, now on to the hunting of animals to get materials. There is a much better way of doing this. I will talk about that later, but to do that you do need to have the naturalist role. So this is for you people that do not have the naturalist role yet, or you do want to do the trader role right now. To get materials, you can then hunt up in the Amberinos, or more specifically in Coulter or outside of Blackwater. And remember, this is if you do not have the naturalist role yet, even though I recommend you buy that before the trader role. So do not do this if you already have the naturalist role. Just wait for later. But as I said, I recommend to hunt outside of Blackwater because this is a very big and open space and a lot of animals spawn here. Normal animals like deer and bucks spawn here a lot, so I like this location. Another location is also up in the Grizzlies near Coulter or the Amberinos. Not many players are up here, so most likely you won't get bothered by anyone. It also reduces lag and ups the spawn rate of animals. In addition to that, animals are quite easy to see up here since everything is covered in snow, and animals are most of the time brown, so they stick out quite well. Use these two locations if you want to hunt outside of naturalist role, because in my opinion this is the best places to hunt. You can hunt anywhere, but if you want to be the most efficient, I recommend to use one of these places or go between both of them. And also keep in mind that if you can't get any legendary animals, spoiler alert, that's what we're going to talk about later, then this will take a long time to fill up the trader, because normal animals only give a little bit of materials and it's a grind to fill it up. I promise you, it takes a long time if you were to just take normal animals. Okay then, we're still on the hunting side of things. So before we go over to the best method of getting materials, let's talk about the hunting wagon. In a way, this is kind of the best way to get animals because it's so good. The hunting wagon, I believe, costs $500 and it's well worth it. The big thing with the hunting wagon is that you can store animals in it and keep them for later. So for example, if you get a lot of animals in one grind, but then you fill up your trader business and you still have a lot of animals left, you can just chuck them in the hunting wagon and they will save even if you go off the game. They will be there until you come on the game again. You need to resupply your trader. Oh yeah, I got some animals in my hunting wagon, let me just use them. The hunting wagon is amazing and you definitely need it to do the trader role. A bonus tip, when you actually get the hunting wagon, do not drive around in it. Just spawn it when you kill an animal or you kill a group of animals. Do not ride around with it because your horse is much faster. You can get a lot more animals that way. And if you crash with the hunting wagon, it just gets destroyed and you need to call your horse. It's a lot of hassle. Just call your hunting wagon and then dismiss it when you put your animals in. As I said, it saves, and then get your horse back and start riding. Right then, now we're on to the big thing of the video, which is the best way to get materials for your trader business and how to run the trader business as effectively as possible. And as I've teased a bit already in the video, this is by taking advantage of the naturalist role. The naturalist role came out after the trader role, so this method hasn't been used all the time before, or if you look at trader guides from about 2 years ago or so, you will see in basically all of them they tell you to just grind animals, but this is the complete wrong way now. Now we only use the naturalist role to get animals or get materials. And the reason for this is that it's much easier because legendary animals give a lot more materials than the normal animals. And I mean a lot more materials. In addition to this, you can get these legendary animals on demand. You just go out to Harriet, which is the girl or woman that runs the naturalist role, and you request a legendary animal from her. After this, you'll get into a legendary animal mission, and in these, you get the option to either sedate or kill the animal. Normally, you would maybe want to sedate the animal to get the sample or progress in the naturalist role. But for our case, we want to kill the animal since we're going to donate it to Crips. So go through the mission, kill the animal with a shotgun or something. Keep in mind you do not have aim assist or aim lock, if you would call it that. In these missions you would have to aim yourself, so if you're at a predator, keep this in mind so you don't get killed. But yeah, after this, just kill the animal. You will spawn after the mission with your animal or the pelt of the animal on your back. Just call the hunting wagon, chuck the legendary animal into the hunting wagon, and now it will be stored until you need it later. As I said, this is the fairly new and best way of running the trader role, because you save a lot of time running around looking for normal animals to donate to Crips. So I would recommend to buy the naturalist role before the trader role, because yeah, as you see, that's the best and easy way. I do not have a guide on the naturalist role yet. I'm making this guide before I make the naturalist guide, so I'm sorry for that. But the naturalist role or the naturalist role guide will most likely be the next video I make on this channel. Alrighty, now you've got all your materials, all your production, everything is going well, and you've filled up your whole trader business. Now it's time to sell. First thing you need to know is that there are 3 different sale wagons. It's the small wagon, which is 25 units. This you get with the business when you buy it, so don't worry about trying to buy this wagon. You already have this wagon. After this, we have the medium wagon, which is 50 units, and at last we have the large wagon, which is 100 units or 100 goods. If it was possible, I would just recommend you to buy the large wagon instantly or when you got to level 10, because that's when you unlock it. But sadly though, you have to buy the medium wagon before you go on to the large wagon. It's sad, but that's how it works. So buy the medium wagon, use that for a bit, and then buy the large wagon when you unlock that. By the way, you unlock the medium wagon at level 5, I think. And for which one you want to use when you've unlocked them all, I recommend to just always use the large wagon and sell 100 units. This way you don't have to always go to the trader and sell, and you get quite a lot of money from just one sell mission. Again, how this works is quite similar to how it works in GT Online. You have a local distance delivery, and then you have a long distance delivery. If you do a local distance delivery with a large wagon, you'll get $500. But if you do a long distance delivery with a large wagon, you will get $625. I recommend you to always sell long distance. This is a bit riskier though, because now people can actually see you on the map. You'll have to go a further distance, but I don't think this is kind of a problem. You'll be fine most of the time, even if you sold solo. And if you go to the selling location or camp location I recommend a bit later, then you'll most likely be fine. So try to always do long distance sales, because that is the best. Also, a little thing is that if anyone asks you if you can help them sell their wagon, then you should always help the person to sell it. The reason for this is you get a lot of XP for the trader role if you help them sell it, but you also get a ton of money. And I mean, you get a lot of money. Hear me out. If you help somebody sell a small shipment, someone with a small wagon of 25 goods, you get about $40. Not too much, but it's a good payday. If you instead help somebody sell 50 goods with a medium sell wagon, you get about $90 or $93, which is quite good for just doing one mission with someone. But listen to this. If you help someone sell 100 goods, that is if they have the large sell wagon, you get over $300. $300 just for helping somebody sell their trading business. That is insane. So if someone asks you to help them sell, don't think that's a waste of time like it is in GTA Online. Just help them instantly because you will earn a lot from it. Plus, most of the players that is playing now, since the trader role came out 2 years ago, most of them do have the large wagon. So basically every time you help someone, you will get $300 and a lot of XP. So this is a really good way as a beginner. Another thing, when you're out selling your wagon or you're out on your short or long delivery sale mission, is that your wagon can get destroyed. You probably knew this, but you probably did know that you can still deliver the goods, but you will lose 20% of the product. And then you will get some bags to carry instead of the wagon. You do not want this. So make sure that the wagon does not get stuck or destroyed. You wouldn't think this, but it's really easily destroyable. So keep yourself on the road or the path and do not go off-road on some rock or something. And if you're unlucky enough to actually get the wagon destroyed, I think you should just change session, and then most likely you will get your product back and sell again, because I think it's worth doing this than losing 20% of the product and then also getting some bags that you and your posse members will have to carry. And if you're solo, that's even worse. So to end this all, I will talk a bit about selling location, as I said. And selling location, it's not that important, but in the beginning you may want to change your camp location to something like Gaptooth Ridge and then sell from there. So basically no players out here, and the desert is really open and it's easy to see if people are coming for you or hiding or anything like that. When you get a bit more comfortable with the business, then you can basically sell from anywhere because it isn't that hard. But if you're scared of getting your goods destroyed, just sell from Gaptooth Ridge. You will have basically no problems. I don't have that many problems if I sell from Gaptooth Ridge. It is easy, reliable, and the routes is pretty good. But when you get a bit more comfortable and you know how to do the business, you can basically sell from anywhere. It doesn't really matter. Well then, this has been the ultimate guide to the trader role. Plus, it's updated to 2022, which is quite important since the older trader guides that you see on YouTube does not include the naturalist role method or way of doing it, which has now become a huge part of running the trader business. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this awesome guide. And if so, go downstairs and throw that like button into the wall so it turns blue. And of course, do not forget to subscribe. As I said, in my next video, I will probably be going through the naturalist role, so look out for that. If it's already out, it's the video on the right. And if not, I reckon the video on the left will do just fine.